some of my recent videos, I keep heading out a little bit late in the day or just staying out longer than I expected. So it keeps getting dark. And so this time I got my stuff packed to be able to stay overnight. And I'm going to do it on purpose. And I'm going out to this lake that I've paddled around at before. I got my packraft with me. I'm going to be paddling out, and usually I don't get to explore very far there because I have to head back and wrap it up for the day because I've usually just been doing it as a day trip. So this will be nice. I'll head out, explore around till the sun goes down, and then find a place to sleep for the night, and then get up and keep getting my wander on. Should be good. It's supposed to get kind of cold tonight. Cold for here in Arizona anyway. Down into the mid 30s, I think it is. And I'll be by the water, so it might get a little chilly, but it'll be fine. And hopefully I can be able to explore the place a little more today. So I'm right here by the road, just parked my car, just walking distance to where I'm at right now. The lake is actually pretty calm for being a public access lake. But fun part now, I'm gonna get my packraft inflated and head out into that little opening in the canyon, and it winds back, and I can usually get into some pretty quiet stuff back there, and then having the option to pack up and move into the hills if I want to gives me even more solitude options. So I'm across the main portion of the lake now. I'm kind of going into the canyon, so I don't have quite as much sunlight as I was hoping. I probably got like another hour left to get back, but I can paddle into the dark if I need to, because I got all my stuff to camp out here, so it's a nice little advantage of packing this way. So yeah, I'm just gonna head on and see what intrigues me as I go on, and somewhere along here I'll find a place to pull off and hang out for the night. It's starting to get quieter though now that I can still hear the road, because it's still back there behind me there. That's the main part of the lake. So we're right up here. I'll be coming around a corner, and then it should start getting even more and more quiet as I go. A little bit of a breeze out here on the water, but it's not bad. Wind isn't too good for these packrafts. It pushes them around quite a bit, so it makes getting any kind of distance in a timely manner almost impossible. But yeah, just a light breeze. I think up ahead here I'll be getting into some sunshine again. Might be able to make it before the canyon blocks it. So I was trying to get some distance here before the light goes out, but I found this calm spot. It's like so calm. So I had to stop and kick back for a little bit. This is nice. It's starting to get late, so I need to find a spot so I can, while I still have a little bit of light to see by. So I think I'm gonna go tuck in up around there. I think there might be something. And if not, maybe over on that side. Nice and quiet out here though, it's cool. So I'm not sure this is the best place to camp. So I'm going to peek around a little bit while I still have a little bit of light. But I might need to get back in the raft and move on. Kind of wanted a place where I can access some little bit of firewood, along with have some flat ground. There's plenty of flat ground, flat spaces around here though. So many birds doing cool stuff right now. So this place is cool, and I found some firewood. I got enough to at least cook a meal up with around here. There's some flat spots mixed in. Killer views, but I'm kind of not feeling it. And I tend to go, well, there's a lot of things that factor into what a good campsite is, but sometimes I get a bit of a gut feeling too. And this place is not the right place, I feel like. So I'm gonna get back in the boat, push across to the other side, maybe try that area. Okay, so I found a kind of a ledge here on this wall. It's pretty cool. It's right across from the place I just scouted out. And the only problem with this spot is that there's like zero firewood, maybe a couple twigs is all. And I wanted to cook up something for my meal tonight. So I'm going to make camp here. So I dropped my pack, but I'm gonna do a couple trips and paddle out on the other side to try to gather up some firewood, bring it back here, and yeah, that's my game plan. All right, I got a little bit of firewood here. I'm gonna wrap it up in my jacket here and strap it to my raft, so I can hopefully avoid puncturing my ride home, and then I'll cruise back over to my camp. So I don't have a ton of firewood to work with, but and I don't really even need it. I just, one of my meal options for tonight is one that I need to heat up some water for, and so it's always nice to have a warm meal before a cool night. So I think I got enough here to run the old firebox. So I'm gonna stare into this blinding light for a second so I can get a little evening debrief going on here. So nice little paddle out, nice and calm. Didn't have a whole lot of daylight exploration time left, but I used what I could and found this little spot. I actually came out here one time when I was doing a day trip one time, and I found this ledge, and I remember thinking it'd be cool to camp out here, but that was like a couple years ago. So it's kind of cool to come back. That other spot that I was checking out is just across the way there. I didn't feel like camping there, like I was saying before. I kind of just had that gut feeling wasn't right, and this is actually cooler over here anyway. But a little while ago I heard a big I moved the, I was taking the lid off my pot that was boiling, and it made a little metallic ting, and something big went scampering over there, so maybe that's a good reason to not be over there. It might have been a something I don't want to hang out with in the night. So yeah, I've got my dehydrated meal. It's just one of those Mountain House meals. I got that thing with the water in it, so it's just doing its soak, so I'll be able to eat it pretty soon. And then I'll probably hang out. The stars are doing crazy things, like I say, like, and it's cool because I'm in this kind of mini slot canyon, so you look up and it's like a river of stars when you look up. It's pretty cool. Maybe I'll see if I can get some photos of it to add into this video, because the video for night doesn't work too well with this camera. So over here I got my down blanket and my sleeping bag are out here. I got them undone so that they'll loft up a little bit. I kept the boat inflated because there's really no reason to take it down, and that gives me quick evac if needed, and just makes it simpler in the morning when I get back on the water. The only reason I'd really need to take it down is, aside from hot weather, is if I was hiking in, but this is like right on the water. Like I say, in the morning I'll have to do a little pan around to show this spot, because it's kind of hard to show it right now since it's so dark. But yeah, I figure I'll just sleep here. There's a nice little spot here, not too it's pretty flat actually, and enough distance to the ledge so I don't roll off in the middle of the night. That'd be extremely uncomfortable. And yeah, so looking forward to eating some food. I'm hungry. So my Mountain House lasagna is done. It's my favorite Mountain House, by the way. I'm gonna shut this light off in a little bit. I have to keep turning it on in order to film stuff, but the stars are starting to pop out more and more. It's pretty cool, so I'm gonna probably won't check back in with this camera situation until it's time to turn in, but so I can enjoy it. But it's pretty cool out. Got Orion is coming up right over, kind of centered inside this little slot canyon thing. I'm not sure if you can call this a slot canyon. It's just kind of there's just cliffs. I'm glad I grabbed the firewood. It kind of took a little bit extra work to paddle over there and get it, but it's nice having something warm. Alright, I'm going to shut this light off and spend some time off camera enjoying this awesomeness that's happening. It's pretty cool. I'm going to go ahead and turn in for the night. I won't actually sleep right now, but I want to, it's supposed to get down into like the 30s tonight, and I want to make sure I sleep warm. So I'm going to make sure I get into my sleeping bag before my body heat starts dropping. It's a lot easier to stay warm than it is to get warm. Here's my life jacket as a pillow. So I got this down blanket just to kind of boost the coldability of this other sleeping bag. So I'm going to wrap up in this inside the sleeping bag. Should be good. So the sun's starting to come up now. Still kind of down on the horizon, but I'm gonna wait for it to get up a little bit more before I crawl out of this bag, because it's still kind of chilly out there. and there's no reason for me to get up right now. So yeah, we got pretty cold last night for here in Arizona, but I was able to stay warm here in the sleeping bag. The moon got bright. The moon was like on the other side of this rock, so it was just like kind of bathing the opposite wall with light, which was cool. But then I opened my eyes one time and it had moved and was shining straight down. It's like somebody shining a flashlight right in my face. So I had to pull my sleep bag over my head. But yeah, it was cool. Stars came out real bright. It's pretty nice. It got real quiet too. It's always interesting, like once the, you know, as night starts to fall, the insects start going, and you can hear the bats chirp sometime, and you know, different creatures come out at that time, and then middle of the night, sometimes it's just dead silent. It's pretty cool though. And then now that the sun's starting to come up, we've got different birds making noises and stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna stay here in the sleeping bag for a while, stay warm, and then once the sun comes up a little bit more, I'll get out and get going. So this was my camp last night. Just slept right here. I just finished taking down my sleeping bag and everything, so I'm packing up for the morning here. But yeah, nice view going on out here. Sun's starting to reach the cliff sides over there. Had some ducks come in this morning too, making some noise over here. Over there is where I had to go get my firewood last night. So just a quick paddle over there, but it was dark. Yeah, there's so it's just my own little island out here. It's kind of cool. So yeah, I got a little more time before the sun comes over the edge here. Probably get some food and purify some water, refill my bottles, and then I'll head on up further up the water there and see what else I want to do today. Time to get some water. These little Sawyer Minis, what this water filter is called. It's super nice because it's tiny and there's lots of ways you can use it. You can do what I'm doing now, drain it out of a bag. You can screw this onto a regular water bottle and like this one, and drink straight out of it. Or you can, like I did in a recent video, connect the straw to it and drink it straight out of the source. And it's super tiny, it disappears in your pack. So I really like it because of that. It's not the fastest to use, like refilling water like this. With some of the other with some of the other types of water filters, goes a lot quicker, but as long as you're not in a hurry to get it done, I'd rather carry just this. All right, I'm packed up, ready to go. I'm gonna push on. Perfect timing too. Sunlight's starting to touch over there. Should be on the water pretty soon too, so I am off. This wind just started all of a sudden, so I've been fighting it, and then I finally decided I don't need to fight this wind because a little while ago I passed a spot, in fact, right over there. The sun's still out over there, or the sun is actually shining over there. I'm not going to get the sun going this way for a while, so I might as well just go over there and hang out, because I have a feeling this I have a feeling this wind is gonna die down a little bit. So I'm just gonna roll with it. Feels good. If I turn sideways like this, it just pushes me along on these packrafts. It actually makes a pretty good time going that way. If I have to go into the wind though, it's a lot harder. I was still making forward movement, but I'm just not sure why that matters right now. So I'm heading over there. Got the wind at my back, put my paddles on full sail mode. Just cruising. This is a nice little spot, significantly warmer here in the sun. Yeah, right around that corner the wind was kind of piping through there, so, but it actually kind of seemed to die down a little once I started coming this way. I don't know if maybe it was just because I came around that corner, but part of the reason I came over here is something I've been thinking about a little bit with just life stuff. Like it seems like I've been trying to be better with just sort of following the flow of things, and not necessarily doing the easier route. Like what I did here, going with the wind instead of against the wind, was obviously the easier route. But it's not so much about that, it's about just taking the little nudges from inside kind of thing. Trying to roll with that a little bit more. So it seems like sometimes, at least for me, I get wrapped up in overthinking things and stuff like that, and it always, whenever my brain takes a hold of something, it just stomps it to death, and it doesn't work out well. So I think it's good for me sometimes just to listen to something a little more subtle, a little more deeper inside myself, and just kind of roll with stuff. And you know, now as I see how this pans out, like it's you know, I was up there fighting my way up against the wind when once I flipped that thing around. It was a fun quick little sail over here, and now I'm sitting in the sun and water's doing this thing and sparkling, and I'm warming up. Like all positive things, not always something that can be done. Like you can't always just flow with the easy route kind of thing, like I was saying, but sometimes I think that flow isn't about the easy route, just I don't know, something worth thinking about though, because it seems like the more that I follow that and the more I kind of roll with it, I end up in good places like this, but like inside too, you know. So I got this kind of like a cave kind of thing going on here. Let's check it out. I got to find a way to tether my boat here though, because these gusts of wind come through every now and then. Try to flip it. I don't want to lose my ride home. So this is a pretty big cave. It's right on the main waterway, so I can tell other people have been in here, obviously. But yeah, this is a big cave. So I'm trying to decide what I want to do. I think the wind's died down a little bit, but it's hard to tell because it's mostly coming from that direction over there. So I think I'm going to paddle back over there, back around that corner, and if the wind nails me again, I'll see what I want to do then. But I don't have a whole lot of interest in going further that way. So if the wind's going, maybe I'll head back this way and look around for something else to do around here. So I changed my plan the second I got on the water. As soon as I started paddling out that way to check the wind, like I was saying. But then I decided I don't want to do that. Like, there's no reason that I need to paddle into the wind. This is kind of a do whatever I want trip. I have no destination, no real plan. Just wander around and you know, I brought my stuff to be able to make it an overnight thing so that I could prolong the adventure. But I'm just wandering. So I'm gonna wander this way. So yeah, so I'm gonna take it slow, just kind of paddle along and be watching for places to pull off and see things that are interesting. I think that's the plan. So I'm going this way now. This is pretty cool, just floating. Temperature's nice as long as I'm in the sun here. Nice and quiet. Get that floating feeling going on. That's kind of the thing. Sometimes I rush ahead, especially if I make some kind of mega plan where I'm, you know, trying to get from one point to another or whatever. But which that's fun too. But sometimes keeping plans looser like this, it allows opportunities like this to just kind of be, and you can feel like you can be present, be in the moment, and all that good stuff when you're on when you're headed to a destination too. But it does require a little more frequent check-ins with yourself to make sure that that's what you're doing. So I pulled up to the shore here because I spotted some ocotillo that are in bloom, which is kind of weird for this time of year. And you can use those flowers to make a little tea, which I'm going to do because it's cool, because you normally can't get them this time of year. I guess it happens sometimes, but I think it's just this little pocket right here that's doing something. So yeah, so I'm gonna go collect some and make some tea. Beautiful. So I grabbed one from that one. There's another one up here that's got a lot of flowers on it, so I'll grab a couple from that one too. So I tethered my boat to a rock, but nothing's ever 100% guaranteed. So I keep looking back to make sure it's not floating down with the wind. I tied it down pretty good, but it's when that's your main ride home, it's I think it's worth stressing over a little bit, right? I don't even know. Oh, there it is. Oh, good. Okay, this one right here looks good. So I got my ocotillo flowers. This should be plenty for a tea, and I think I'm gonna paddle down a ways, so I'll put them in my pack and brew it up further down the way there. It's a fun little find though, makes me happy. So I'm really glad I decided to go with the wind. It's just because it's like beautiful out right now with the sun coming up at the angle it is and the shadows that are popping out on these rock walls. I keep finding myself like not paddling much and just sitting here floating with it, and so I can look. And if I was paddling upwind, I wouldn't be able to do that. I'd be able to explore other places, obviously, but I think for today, this is kind of what I need. Just this. This is cool. I'm gonna stop here for a little bit, take a break, and make that tea up, Akatiu flower tea, and maybe get something to eat. Hang out here for a bit. So I'm gonna make up my tea here in a second, but I'm gonna get water going for my soup first, because then I can transfer the water over to that, and because the flowers will need to sit in here for a while. So I'm gonna get my yeah, so I'm gonna make the soup first, then I'll get that that tea going. All right, so I got my soup. The water's in here, and yes, I did reuse my mountain house thing. It is just fine, and my tea just went in, so water's just coming up to temperature there. Once it gets to a boiling, I'll pull it off and leave it covered for about 15 minutes, and then I'll sip it. That's what I'll do. Oh good, the sun's starting to come up over here. I picked the shadiest spot of this little landing spot, so it's been a little chilly, but should warm up. All right, my tea is ready to take off. I'm just gonna set it here for a while, let it brew. So eating some lunch here while my tea is brewing. This is ramen noodles cooked in the bag I used last night for the lasagna. There's a hint of lasagna still in there. It's kind of nice. Plus, this is a handy little bag. I was able to just cook the water. I was able to keep my cup clean by just boiling the water and dumping it straight into this thing with the noodles, instead of getting my cup dirty, because I didn't want to get my cup dirty because I want to make my tea. I don't want my tea tasting like ramen, but I don't mind my ramen tasting like lasagna. A little something about me, I guess. My tea is done. It's really hot still though. It smells good. I don't usually like flower teas, like teas made from flowers, but they're too flowery for me. But this is kind of a different, almost a honey-like taste. It's good. I don't usually drink it just the Akatiu flower. A lot of times I'll take like just a pinch of this, like 1/8 of what I used here, and add it into something else. Just because it has that kind of sweet factor going on. Yeah, that's really hot. That cools this thing down. So I've been trying to think what my game plan is here. I'm going to explore something else or wander up one of these hills. But I think I've been enjoying this chill pace that I've been doing here. It just seems to be the right thing for right now. And so I'm going to keep that going, and I'm going to start heading back home. So that way it gives me time to take my time paddling out. I won't be in a rush or anything, and I'll just cruise. I might stop somewhere along the way, might not, but I'm gonna keep that chill vibe going, because I'm liking it. Sometimes I like coming out and like having a target, attacking it, and I still try to stop and enjoy nature along the way, but sometimes I like things to be a little faster paced, a little faster paced. But this trip, I think the chill vibe is what I'm after. So I'm drinking flower tea, and then I'm gonna go paddle. I'm choking on a pedal, actually, is what's happening. All right, I'm all packed up. The tea was delicious. Lunch was good. The sun is nice, and now I'm going to head on my way. So like I said before, I think I'm just gonna take a slow paddle back, aiming towards home now, but focusing on just keeping chill. I got plenty of time to get there, so I'm in no rush. Just gonna flow with it. I'm about to leave the canyon, kind of sad. Gotta go back into the main lake and then back to my car and then onto the road with the traffic and the humans and such. But this is a good little trip though.